Hey Yogi, welcome to class. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rhi, this is Drakey, and if you are returning, welcome back. We love practicing with you on YouTube. Before we jump into the practice, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It just helps us to grow on the platform. And if when you get to the end of the class, you enjoy it, please like the video and leave me a comment. All of those things really help us. For today's class, you're not going to need anything, but if you know that you like props to help you on your journey, then of course grab what you need and meet me at the back of the mat in Virasana. So sitting with, actually I'm going to use a block for this, so that might be a good cue to get one. So I'm going to pop the block in between my heels, squeezing my heels into the block for a bit of feedback, and then I'm going to sit my hips onto, or my sit bones onto the block. And then just allow yourself here to just reacquaint yourself with what a nice neutral spine is. So sitting up nice and tall, sitting on both sit bones equally, really pressing into both so you can rise up and out equally, and then drop the shoulders down and back, draw the chin back a little bit if it's sticking out a bit, and just come to a neutral position. For this practice, I'm going to turn my palms up so I'm in a receiving place, but of course you could keep the palms down if you'd like some grounding energy. If it feels good here, close down the eyes or take a soft gaze and turn inward just for a few moments. We're going to get at it today, so just a few moments to arrive. Whether this is the first thing you're doing in your day or one of the last, somewhere in between. Let's just have a few moments to drop into our body. Maybe if you like to set intentions for your practice, maybe today you just say to the body, I love you and I'm listening, because sometimes we don't listen to the body. So maybe let's make that a goal for today. Notice if the longer you sit here, the more you go back into habits of how you sit, and really try and reaffirm a nice long spine, a nice tall chest, reaching the crown of the head up whilst drawing the chin back. Letting our shoulder blades just really sit on our back bodies like wings instead of spreading. Just allow them to sit together. Beautiful. Take your hands, catch opposite hand to opposite elbow. We're going to frame ourselves here. So as you inhale, reach your arms up and over your head so that you really frame your whole head. As you exhale, roll the hands down. Inhale. Exhale. Resist the urge to back bend. Try and keep that lovely neutral spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Switch the clasp. So take the opposite hand to opposite elbow and we go again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Speeding that up a bit. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And release. If you've got a block, or even if you haven't, come up onto your tiptoes. So tuck your toes underneath, tuck your toes so you can sit back onto your heels. And if it feels good, you're going to bring a block to sit on. So you're going to pop the block on top of the backs of your calves so that you've got a bit of a gap there between your heels and your butt. Sit up nice and tall. This can be a lot, so bear with us, bear with me, I should say. Drake's not doing anything, so there's no us in this. And then opposite hand to opposite elbow. So go for your natural grip here so that we can start back on the first side. And then again, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep going a few times. Next time you exhale, release, change the clasp onto the elbows, and we go again. In, out, in, out. Feel the shoulder open here. Keep the spine contained. Keep the chin back. So try not to make this about a back bend. Think about just framing yourself in your neutral position. And keep going just for a few more times. In and out, in and out, in and out. Next inhale, hold. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Come off the toes, come off your block. Nice. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and take some circles over the wrists here, just getting into the fingers, into the hands, warming up the forearms, and just inviting a bit of blood down there. Once you've done that a few times, in both directions, flip your hands so that your left fingertips point back towards your knees, and then circle, circling around. Come back to neutral, switch it up, so left palm back to normal. Flip the fingers of your right hand so they point towards your right knee, and take the circles. Notice if one hand is more resistant, or one wrist, I should say, is more resistant to this work. Maybe that's got a little bit of weakness there, that, you know, you overwork it. Often the hand we write with can feel pretty tight because we do everything with that hand. Although I don't know that many of us write anymore. I certainly don't. But, you know, you brush your teeth with that hand, you open doors with that hand, you step out into the world with that hand. So whichever hand you are predominantly using, it sometimes can feel like the wrist's a bit tight. So just give that some notice and try and balance yourself out, and then come back to neutral. From here, you're going to cross your right knee on top of your left, and we're going to rock forwards and back here a few times in Gomukhasana legs. And then if it feels good, and of course you could use blocks for this, by the way, so you can come up onto your fingertips and lift your chest, or if you can, you're going to come all the way up onto the shins. If you had two blocks here, that might help for height, or coming up onto spidey fingers. We just want to get as much space here in the upper body whilst having this confinement in the low body. You can take your feet pretty wide here if that helps you too. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Opposite hand catches opposite elbow. We'll go a few rounds again. So exhale, inhale, and a few times. Up and down, in and out. Just opening some windows in your house, metaphorically speaking. Just trying to get a bit of air in. Just a few times here, because we've already done this a bit. Engage your glutes, send your hips forward. Beautiful. And release. Nice. From here, come down, so hands back onto the mat if they weren't, and then sit back into Gomukhasana. This might be a lot for this point in the practice. I feel you if it is. My hips are not like naturally really loose, and so if you need to roll forwards and back a few times just so that you can really fold at the hip crease and feel good, maybe not good, but feel solid, feel stable, then do so. Then come to sit in neutrality here. I like to place the palms onto the soles of my feet just so that I can use that to have a little bit of connection through the body, lifting the chest. From here, your right forearm is going to seek the mat. Maybe a block goes there instead, and you reach the left arm up and away, feeling a twist here, feeling length through your left side body. Keep pressing your left sit bone down. It's going to want to lift. And then come up, switch sides. Left forearm or left hand comes down, reaching your right arm up and over. Notice this time if the right sit bone is on the rise, try to drop it. And then back to neutral. Come back forward and uncross the leg. Coming back into tabletop. Have a little shake if you need to. And then cross your left knee on top of your right. So you're sitting cross-legged here again, and tuck your toes. And again, you've got the same option. So you could use your fingertips here and not do the breathing with the arms. You could come up onto blocks, or you can come all the way up onto the shins. Try and have the toes untucked here, so we're really pressing into the tops of the feet. Opposite hand catches opposite elbow, so don't go your normal way and then switch it, so you know you're the right way. And then inhale, exhale. And we do this again just a few times, just really getting into the low body as we open up some air and some space in the upper body. Try and keep your chin back, don't allow it to lift and stick out. And keep going. Just a few more inhales and exhales. Imagine you're just breathing a bit of life back into the body, getting rid of stagnation, solidifying the foundation. And then inhale up and release. Great. From here, hands or no hands, you're going to sit back into Gomukhasana on this side. If you're looking for more stretch, of course, you can scoot the feet further towards the top of your mat. This might be enough. And then from here, you can again place your hands onto the soles of your feet. Try and sit into both sit bones. So make sure that one sit bone's not taking all the work. We really want to find stability at the ground floor here. And then this time, we're going to go to the left first. So left forearm down, reach the right arm up. Don't worry if the forearm doesn't go all the way down. You can come up onto the palm here. Just want you to feel a stretch through the right side body. And then switch sides. Trying to keep your left sit bone down. So for me, I never go on my right forearm when my left leg is on top, because my left sit bone will just give in and rise. So just notice that in your body. Any differences or changes you need to make side to side. Come back to neutral. From here, roll forward and untuck or uncross the legs. Great. Have a little shake out here. Release any tension you might have built up. Then tuck the toes, lift the hips, and find downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees, roll forward into high plank pose. Exhale, lower and rise for the push-up. Drop your knees, drop your forearms, sit your butt back. As you inhale, pull through into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll into high plank. Exhale, lower and rise for the push-up. Drop your knees, send your butt back, drop your forearms. Inhale through upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful stuff. From here, your right leg lifts, three-leg dog. As you exhale, right foot journeys outside your right hand. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, open, take a twist. Exhale, right hand comes underneath you. Lift the back knee, work into straightening both legs. Pyramid pose. Inhale, rebend the right knee, plant the right foot, step the right foot back. Exhale, lower and rise for the push-up. Drop knees and forearms. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, left leg rises, three-leg dog. Exhale, left foot. Outside left hand, drop your right knee. Inhale, open up for the twist. Really reaching back through your left fingertips. Exhale, left hand down, tuck the back toes if they're not. Work to straighten both legs on the exhale. Modified pyramid. You don't need to have the right heel down. This is not Parvattanasana. Inhale, rebend the left knee, look long. Step your left foot back to meet your right. High plank pose. Exhale, lower and rise. Drop knees, drop forearms, drop butt. Pull through into up dog on your inhale. Exhale, wave it back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful stuff. From here, roll into high plank. As you exhale, lower to the ground. Take your left arm straight out of its socket and roll onto your left hip, taking your right toes over and behind you here. Letting your left head seek the mat, or the left side of your head seek the mat. Roll back to the middle, switch sides. Right arm goes long, rolling onto your right hip or your outer right hip, and find a bit of a twist here. Roll back to the center. Set your hands up into spidey fingers. So if your head is at 12 o'clock, I want your hands to be roughly at 10 and 2. Come up so you've got on spidey fingers, and then reach the elbows up, let your forehead seek the mat. Low body is nice and heavy. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. As you inhale, squeeze your shoulders, roll up, oscillating cobra. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Arms alongside the body, plant the palms flat to the mat, pinky fingers in, setting up for Shalambhasana. Inhale, roll the shoulders together, lift the feet, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Be buoyant here. Be long through your neck, so don't lift your head too high. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Feel strength rather than extension here. And release. You can take your head to one side or another if that feels good. Resist the urge to fidget. Just let your hips stay in neutral. Let the back bend settle. Bring your head back to neutral. Let's do that one again. Palms flat to the mat. As you inhale, you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pinky fingers coming in towards the midline. Lift the chest, lift the heart, lift everything. Keep your neck nice and long. You can look forward without lifting your chin. Be buoyant. Squeeze the shoulders to lift you higher. Imagine my hands are under your feet, lift off them. Now they're under your shoulders, lift off them. And release. Beautiful work. Tuck your toes. Bring your hands, untuck your toes. Bring your hands close towards your hips. And then as you inhale, roll up into up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Awesome stuff, yogis. From here, look to the top of your mat. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump the feet outside the hands. If you're jumping, I know I always say this, I'm like a broken bloody record. Try to jump lightly. Inhale, active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, active squat. From here, come all the way down to a Malasana. From this Malasana, we're going to take our right arm around, plant it, and inhale for a circle wheel. Exhale, come back to Malasana. Plant the hands down, lift the hips more into an active squat. Look long, exhale, Vinyasa. Push back, downward facing dog. Awesome. Look to the top of the mat, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump feet outside the hands. Don't worry, if it doesn't happen on the first one, it doesn't always. Try for some hang time if that's what you're going for. And then gently step or lower, feet outside hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, your drishti rises. Exhale, back into active squat. Drop your hips all the way down, find Malasana. Sit with your chest nice and tall here. Get a bit of breath into the body. And then this time we go to the left. Left hand drops behind you. Sweep your right arm up. Open up. Lift your hips. Exhale, back to the center. Malasana. Rise up into an active squat shape. Hands to the mat. Step or jump. And Vinyasa. You can always drop your knees in those push-ups, I should have said before. So you do what feels stable and strong for you. Nice, let's do that again. Look to the top of the mat. Lift heels, bend knees, step or jump. Feet outside hands. Have control, whichever route you're taking. And inhale. Active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the arms high. Look up. Exhale, active squat. Come all the way down, Malasana. Sit with your chest nice and high here. Reach your right arm around. Plant it. Lift your hips. Follow your gaze with your hand. Really reaching up for this circle wheel. And then exhale, come back, sit down. Take your left leg long out in front of you. And then plant your right foot. across your left thigh. From here, you're going to drive your right knee into your chest by hugging it tight with your left arm. Sit up nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you take a twist, trying to look over that right shoulder. Flex your left toes here. Give your left leg some work to do. Setting up for Matsyendrasana, Lord of the Fishes. Try not to let your right shoulder hug in towards your right ear. Try and let it go loose or down while still sitting up nice and tall. Inhale back to the center. From here, we come back the way we came. So you're going to plant your feet in front of you. Take them out a little bit wide so that they would be ready for active squat. Right hand behind you. Come back up into your kind of half Urdhva Dhanurasana here, and then come forward, push off the right hand back into Malasana. Lift into active squat, hands to the mat. Look long, step or jump back. Vinyasa. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Awesome, yogis. Look to the top of the mat, lift heels, bend knees, step or float. Feet outside, hands. Fight for it if you're trying to float. Fight for it if you're just jumping. Be graceful if you're stepping. Feet outside, thumbs. Inhale, active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, sink low into active squat. Sink lower again, Malasana squat. Reach your chest up. Get some breath back into the body. This time, left hand sweeps behind, plant it. Sweep your right arm up, follow your gaze with your hand. Or follow your hand with your gaze. Press into the hips. And slowly lower the hips down. Let your right leg go long this time. Flex your right toes back towards your shins. Or shin. Reach your right foot over your... Reach your left foot over your right thigh. Wrap your right arm around your left thigh. Really pull it into you here. Feel a stretch in the outside of your left hip. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, turn. Try and turn from the midsection of your chest. Fingertips behind you, look over your left shoulder. Take a few breaths here. See how far you can go back. Can you see the full 180 degrees when you look from side to side? That's what we're aiming for. But not so much with the neck. We want the twist to come from the middle of the sternum, right? The head is just following the sternum and then taking a little gentle look over the shoulder. It's not too exaggerated. Gently release. Unwind the legs, left foot plants, right foot plants. Take them kind of wide, so setting up for your circle wheel. Left hand behind you, lift up. Follow your hand with your gaze for your right hand, and then gently come back into your your Malasana squat. Rise to an active squat. Hands to the mat, and then Vinyasa. Awesome. From here, your right leg lifts, three-leg dog. As you exhale, right foot behind your left wrist. And then we're just going to lift and lower the right shin down a few times, setting up for our pigeon. But just imagining that you're opening the gate here first. You can lower the left knee if you like. And then set yourself up for your pigeon. Maybe you want to just stay in an active pigeon here, placing your right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left foot. You can tuck the back toes, come onto the left knee here, really lifting up. Maybe you want to reach the arms up, inhale, exhale, bow forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And exhale. On this exhale, feel free to bow down. Maybe you want to make two fists, stacking one on top of the other, and just letting this little fist tower support your forehead, allowing you to drop in to this pigeon pose a little bit deeper, and just allowing you to find a little bit of space here in your right hip. Slowly come up, sit onto your right butt so that you can swing your left leg around. This time your left foot tracks over your right shin, so we're in more of a traditional Matsyendrasana here. And then from here you're going to squeeze your left thigh into your chest with your arm, and again we're going to take that twist. If you want to, you could take the outside of your right elbow onto the outside of your left knee and allow that to twist you deeper. But again, make the rotation come from your mid back. Even if you're not looking so much over the shoulder, make the twist count. Slowly back to center, and then bring the left knee on top of the right, setting up for Gomukhasana here. Beautiful. Reach your right arm up, take your left hand behind you so that your left palm is facing the back of the mat and the back of your left hand is somewhere up the back of your body. And then bend your right elbow, see if you can catch. Of course, you could just grab your t-shirt here if you cannot catch for the hands. That's totally good. You just want to catch for something. If you're not wearing a t-shirt and you've just got a sports bra, best to get a strap here. You can stay here, really wrapping the tricep in towards the right side of your face, or you can bow down. Yogi's choice. I'm going to stay upright here. I find I've got a lot more integrity in Gomukhasana when I'm upright than when I'm folded, but that's just personal preference. You might have a huge more range than me and you can fold a bit deeper. Slowly release. From here, slowly come so that the outside of your feet start to make contact with the mat. From here, we are going to roll and turn to face the back of the mat. It may not be pretty. It wasn't for me, so don't worry. And then you're going to walk your hands back into down dog, facing the wrong side of the mat. Left leg will lift, three-leg dog. Exhale, left foot this time journeys behind your right wrist. And again, we're going to lift and lower the left shin a few times here. We're just doing this to encourage a little bit of fluidity in the left hip. We have done quite a few squatting positions, but it's nice to get a little bit of juice in there before we start to activate. Let the left shin land. Sit up tall, place your left hand on your left knee, right hand on your right foot. You can tuck your back toes for support here. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. This time, fold in, fold down. If you like, you can make those fists again. Stack a different fist on top. I always stack my left on top. So stack the opposite fist on top and let your head meet your little tower of fists. Keep pressing your right hip down towards the ground. Slowly come up. Lean onto your left hip so you can swing your right leg forward. This time your right foot is going to journey outside your left thigh. Sit on both sit bones, find some equilibrium here, and then left arm is going to catch for your right thigh so we can take that twist again. Of course, you could hook your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh, but this is optional. Feel like you could sit up and tall. If doing this makes you feel like you're sinking into your pelvis instead of sitting up out of it, then come back to having the arm wrapped around your wrist, your thigh. Drake's now decided to wake up, have a little scratch. Keep twisting over your right shoulder to keep turning through the middle of your chest. And then slowly come back to the center and then come into Gomukhasana on this side. It might take a little bit of fidgeting to get here. You can stay like this. You could plant your hands to the soles of the feet, or you're going to reach your left arm up and then your right arm is going to go back. So have your right palm, so the palm is facing the back of the mat or the top of the mat, but you know what I mean, the mat behind you, and then bend your elbow so the back of your right hand is now flat or as close to flat to your back as possible, and then bend your left elbow, see if you can catch for the fingertips or for like your t-shirt, whatever you're wearing is cool, maybe a strap if that makes it a bit more available to you. This is a big stretch on the right shoulder, so breathe into it. Feel free to bow down for a couple of breaths here. It's not a requirement, but if you feel like you've got the space, by all means do. I'm going to stay upright because it just allows me to get a little bit more air into my right shoulder, which does not love this movement, does not love internal rotation massively. And then slowly release. Nice, and then from here we're going to release the legs, so you can take the hands behind you and lean back and come down onto your back. Draw your knees into the chest, maybe take a few circles, opening and closing the knee, if that feels good. And then come into Shavasana. Find any comfortable place to be here. Releasing the arms alongside you, allowing your palms to face up towards the ceiling or the sky above you. Gently lift your head and slightly tuck your chin just to bring your neck into neutral. Soften the eyes or close them completely and start to let go. A short practice, but we whipped it up. So just allow yourself now to come into ease and to let go of the practice. To let go of any attachment you have to your asana practice and just let it be another component of your day, another passing of time. Doesn't need to be any more than that. It can just be something that you do to better understand your body, rather than any kind of competition where, you know, that was the best practice I ever did, or that's the best jump forward I've ever done, or that's the best circle wheel. It's not about that. It's not about that. So just let go of any thoughts and try and just allow yourself to drop into your body. Maybe coming back to your mantra or your intention if you set it for your body, which was, I love you and I am listening. Stay here for as long as you can, yogis. This is where Drake and I will leave you. As always, it's a privilege to practice with you on YouTube. Until we meet again, thank you.